you so much for joining us. We now turn over to our next story. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto has stressed his country's commitment to working with Jordan to achieve peace in Palestine. During a meeting with King Abdullah II at the Basman Palace in Amman, Prabowo reaffirmed that a two-state solution is the only way to secure lasting peace in the Middle East. Prabowo said Indonesia and Jordan share a common platform in promoting regional stability and that close coordination between the two countries is essential to monitor development in the Gaza conflict. Indonesia is ready to support peace initiatives, including backing the 20-point plan proposed by US President Donald Trump. The two leaders discussed how to strengthen bilateral cooperation and stay engaged in efforts to achieve a permanent solution. Prabowo also thanked King Abdullah for Jordan's support in these efforts. Let's take a listen in.
The solution is a two-state solution with an independent Palestine. And that's why when we were invited to join the Board of Peace and we supported the 20-point plan of President Trump, it's all with the view and effort to do whatever we can to achieve that lasting solution. Are deeply concerned about the problems in the West Bank. We feel that this could affect the success of whatever we try to do in Gaza. So we would like to strengthen and enhance this cooperation, and I think my team will work closely with your team, and so that we are always on top of the situation. We know exactly what's going to happen.
The role of your nation, I think, with all the challenges that we have in the region, is very, very important. I know how much you are committed to the two-state solution, how much you value the future of the Palestinian people, and this is something, obviously, that warms all our hearts. I know that you are committed to bring peace and tranquility, and again, your very brave commitment to protect the people of Gaza, for us, I think, is extremely important. And I look forward to having this discussion on how can we assist our brothers and sisters in this endeavor.
Joining us now is Mohammed Osman, a Middle East expert, joining us live from Cairo. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for joining us here on NewsX World. We're now following around a week since that first meeting from the Board of Peace, where $7 billion was pledged to reconstruct Gaza, as well as this international stabilization force, this police force as well. Jordan and Indonesia there, both of course Muslim majority countries, both members of the Board of Peace. What have you made about Muslim majority member states' openness to this Board of Peace arrangement that Donald Trump has constructed? How do you think it's going to go moving forward, and what have you made of these talks?
To be with you. Of course, we have seen a remarkable openness on the side of many Muslim majority countries, as you have mentioned, in Arab countries, to joining the Board of Peace. And of course, the focus here of these countries is basically resolving the Gaza crisis and avoiding the forced displacement of the Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. And that's why countries like Indonesia, like Turkey, like Jordan, like Egypt, like Saudi Arabia, were open to the idea of joining the Board of Peace and being proactive within its premise in order to achieve something that is for the good of the Palestinians, despite all the shortcomings of this Board of Peace, which is far from just, which is far from being representative of the Palestinian side as well, and is also has not been approaching the issue of the Palestinian cause from the within the context of international law. Basically, this council or this peace board has not yet adopted the idea of the two-state solution as the only solution for the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And of course, we've seen remarkably about 8 Islamic and Arab countries that President Trump consulted with before launching his 20-point peace plan from Gaza, and that included, in addition to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey, it included also Indonesia and Jordan. And this is what makes today's summit between President Prabowo and King Abdullah II important in a sense, because both of them are heavily involved in the post-war situation in Gaza. Indonesia will be providing thousands of troops as part of the International Stabilization Force, and this has been confirmed. And also Jordan is, along with Egypt, are involved in training thousands of Palestinian Authority police personnel who are supposed to take over law enforcement in the Gaza Strip.
We now move on to a related development, Mohammed. Do stay with us as we turn to another update. A flotilla of more than 100 boats will depart from Spain for Gaza on April the 12th, aiming to break Israel's blockade and bring aid to the enclave. The flotilla will carry medical professionals, educators and other experts to assist Gaza's 2.3 million residents who have been devastated by the ongoing conflict. In addition to the sea mission, 2 land convoys will travel to Gaza, carrying much-needed supplies and support. The activists hope to raise global awareness about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where the blockade has caused widespread hunger and displacement. Last October, Israel intercepted a similar flotilla, arresting more than 450 participants, including Swedish activist Greta Thunberg. Mohammed, this has come under much scrutiny. We've seen numerous flotillas head for the enclave. The last one, the biggest one that we saw, a similar size to this, around 100 boats headed for the Gaza Strip, all of which were intercepted by the Israeli army and taken to their territory. What do you think is the effectiveness of these operations? And do you think that they achieve their objectives even when these activists are arrested and the aid is reportedly taken to the Gaza Strip?
Well, it is a symbolic show of solidarity. That's its significance. Basically, it will bring Gaza back into the attention of the international media and international decision makers as well, to tell them that the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza, despite the ceasefire going into effect about 4 months ago, the humanitarian catastrophe is still in full force, and Israel is still restricting the flow of humanitarian aid and the agreed upon quantities into the Gaza Strip. Because we have to remember, Thomas, that as part of the 20 peace plan and the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement, about 600 trucks of humanitarian aid should enter the Gaza Strip daily. We have not reached that figure at all. A maximum of 1 to 200 trucks a day enter the Gaza Strip, which basically leads to the humanitarian crisis continuing in full force. And also, Thomas, there's another problem. This is not really a textbook ceasefire, because Israel engages in hostile actions on a daily basis. Military action is undertaken on a daily basis. Over the past 4 months of ceasefire, over 600 Palestinians have died. Even President Trump yesterday, in his State of the Union speech, admitted that Gaza is still experiencing a low-scale conflict. So even he, with all of the pomp and the claims that he has accomplished peace in the Middle East, does admit that the war in Gaza did not fully end. So, of course, this flotilla will go, and probably, like the previous ones, it will be intercepted, because Gaza is still under Israeli control, and Gaza's waters are under Israeli control. So probably they will be intercepted just like the others, and the international community will have nothing to do or say but maybe deplore or condemn and voice concern, Thomas.
Yes. Mohammed Osman, thank you so much for taking the time in joining us. Great pleasure.